Good afternoon. This is Tim from Retirement's Underrated. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Thank you for joining us today. It's going to do something a little bit different with the change of seasons and the fall being here. I wanted to, shoot it in the background of the leaves and everything changing in my backyard, and I have it angled a little higher so you can see the leaves falling as I talk today. I wanted to talk today about, I was reflecting on this, and I wanted to do it in the fall because I was thinking about this a lot, especially now having some time in retirement to think about things. Whereas before, it was a day-to-day, do what you can, get things done, and you didn't have much time to reflect on things. But now that I'm retired, I have a little bit more time on my hands. As my brother would say, you have too much time on your hands, but that's the wonderful thing about retirement, is that you have time to think and reflect and look at things in a different light. Today I wanted to talk about the seasons of life. With the change of seasons, it's kind of, each season kind of is reflective of different times in our life that we go through. At different ages, we go through different changes, and when we're young, when we're in our teens, we're eager to go, we're involved in everything, taking up all the causes of the world and being active and wanting to get to work, make our mark, go to college, do all those exciting things. And in our 20s, we do yet another thing. We get out of college, we get our first job, we work, we maybe get a car, we do all sorts of neat things. And then each age, as our 30s, we start to think about the future. And if we're married, we're raising a family and doing things with our kids. In our 40s, yet again, we're starting to think a little bit about retirement and that time coming up in our life. In our 50s, we're getting ready for it, and hopefully our kids are already through school. If not, we're still working on getting them through school and through college. And then in our 60s, hopefully we're getting ready to settle into retirement. And I haven't been to the other stages yet, so you have to go to other channels for that. But each season really has different things that we go through. The spring. I think about the spring. The spring really, to me, represents a time in our lives where we were starting new things. When I was a teen and starting new jobs, that was a new time. When I was in my 20s, starting to work in my profession. In my 30s, being married and starting to raise a family. In my 40s, we changed locations. We moved from Massachusetts to New York. In my 50s, continued to work. Started to think more about retirement. And now in my 60s, it's yet a new time of spring in my life, starting retirement. And even in the times to come, when I'm in my 70s or 80s, or God willing, even 90, that each time is a new beginning, a new start to things. Things are changing. And I think of summertime when you're actively involved in things. I think of the summertime when you're out there involved in the outdoors, or you're actively doing the things in your life and just actively engaged. It's a wonderful time, and you're just in the thick of it. And then I think of the fall, where it's a time where you're shedding, as the leaves fall, I think of in our life, we start to shed old things that were active in our life but now are starting to fall by the wayside. Our kids have graduated from high school. Our kids have graduated from college, or perhaps they've moved out of the house for the first time, or they're looking for their first job in their professions. And those leaves dropping off the trees are different things that were active in our lives, but then slowly drift to the wayside. The leaves of school, when they were in school, that leaf flutters off. That's now a time gone. Or the kids growing up. You blink and the kids are grown up, and that leaf falls away. It doesn't come back again. And the different things, the leaf of maybe the youth of your 20s, that kind of drifts off, but you enter a new stage in your life. The different changes, you move to a new location. The leaves fall. So the leaves represent different things in our lives that are fallen by the wayside. Things that used to be an active part of our lives but are no longer part of our lives. And they fall by the wayside. And then I think of the winter. And the winter, sometimes people think about the winter, and of course my pad's not coming back. Think about the winter and they think, oh, that's just dead and dormant. And that's really not the case. Winter is really a time of rest and I can't pronounce that word. Recouping. It's a time where, like, you take this magnolia tree behind me. In the fall, that'll develop new buds. And in the winter, those buds will actually grow and get ready for the springtime. Will burst into a new creation, a new flower. So winter is a time for rest, for nature to recuperate, for our bodies to recuperate, it's a time in our life when we take a moment to reflect back on things that were and looking forward to the things ahead. And then, after the winter, what happens? Spring comes about. The spring and the bursts of new colors, new things, new leaves grow on the trees, new things in our lives, new experiences. Perhaps we're moving to another location. Maybe we're thinking about moving down south or up north, or maybe we're pursuing a new dream of ours that we've never had time for, or maybe it's something else. Maybe we're looking forward to grandchildren. For those of us who have children that are married, we don't, but it's hopefully at some point we will. But it's a time of newness, of a new beginning. It's a wonderful time. So, the seasons of life, and it's just, I love this time of year. It's just so crisp, and, it gives me a time to wax on, perhaps, just of things that have been, over in that corner in the house. I remember when we first got here, we sat on a porch that used to be here. Now it's replaced, but I remember kneeling down for a picture with my kids, and my son was just 7 and my daughter was just a little over 2, and it was just a wonderful time. And now they're both grown up. My son's 27, my daughter's 22, and things have changed. I'm retired now. Didn't think I would be retired this early in my life, but I'm thankful for that, and I'll talk in other videos about how that happened. But I'm thankful for the time to reflect, because you don't know how much time you have. And I'm so thankful. When I first retired, I started going on walks and looking up in the sky. And for the first time, I really started to notice the birds that were flying in the air, the eagles and the hawks flying around looking for things, but they would soar effortlessly amongst the clouds and along the breeze, just doing their thing. And I never had time when I was working to even consider such things or look at them. I now look at the chipmunks and the squirrels gathering things for the fall. I see deer transforming from doe. When they're young, we get a lot of deer through our yard. When they're small, just fresh, newly born, they're small. They've got a lot of the tiny white spots, and then over the season, they grow up more and more until they're on their own, and everything has a season and a rhythm to it. So I just wanted to take time today to kind of reflect on that and think about it. Will this move the world? Probably not, but I just wanted to take time, reflect back on the good things that you've been through, reflect on the seasons of your life, the seasons, how they've changed in a good light. It's all very positive, all very good. It's a chance for us to look back and see what the good things that we've lived through, and reflect on the memories, take a moment to remember, and perhaps take out some old photographs, remember those things, but then also plan for a new tomorrow, things that you will be doing, new hobbies, new things. Maybe start a YouTube channel. Why not? I just wanted to take time and talk to you about that. I want to thank you for joining me today. It means a lot, and I look forward to talking with you more. And best wishes, and above all, be safe, be blessed, and have a great day. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help the channel to grow, and also share the video with other people that you think might enjoy this topic. So anyway, best wishes from us to you. Bye-bye.